The world of the so-called phablet, the smartphone-tablet hybrid, is growing. No longer confined to super high-end devices with ultra-modern specs, the phablet category now includes
I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and it's part 2 of the full video review of the HTC One Max. It's an awesome device with a 5.9-inch display and a fingerprint scanner, but can it compete with the Lumia 1520, the Galaxy Note 3, the Xperia Z Ultra, and this increasing category that we call phablets? We'll find out in part 2. We pick up part 2 of the HTC One Max full video review talking about the camera and how it works not only in, for example, basic shots, but HTC Zoe capabilities as well and how the software has changed in Sense 5.5. It's part 2 of the HTC One Max video review. Let's kick it off right now. But before we get too far into that, thanks to our partners at HTC, they hooked us up with a review unit that we're using for testing. And thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile as well, the boys in blue, I like to call them, because they hook us up with phones that we give you for free on the site at instantwin.phonedog.com. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, they'll make sure you're set up and ready to go, whether it's Sprint or Verizon. They're unbiased, they're not paid on commission, so they'll help you find the one that works best for you in your respective area. HTC One Max is here. We'll talk really quickly about the hardware actually before we jump into the camera stuff, because if you missed part 1, go back and take a look. But the hardware here is beautiful, very much like the HTC One. Nice metal on the back and on the front, boom sound speakers. It's just quite literally a supersized HTC One with a nice big 3,400 milliamp hour battery here, so trucking along with a nice big battery, 3,300 milliamp hours, excuse me, battery over here, and you got a nice big 5.9-inch 1080p HD display as well. So big display, big battery, big opportunities here on the HTC One Max. So we'll jump into the camera and take a look. 4 ultra pixel camera, the same camera that we saw on the HTC One, 1080p HD video recording capabilities. And I'm going to shoot a couple of shots here. You can see they made some subtle changes to the interface. For example, the Zoe icon, it's enabled, and you can see Zoe right below it. So now it's telling me that I have Zoe enabled. I've got, of course, the option over here to change around the image as I see fit. I can come over here, for example, and we'll snap a shot, or snap a Zoe, and we'll go in here and click on that. The still pictures, for example, I can change the way they look around, so for example, I can move the effects, I can change those around, have some fun with that. So I can do a combination of pictures and Zoes, and where that comes in really beneficially, I'll take a look at this adapter module, for example, and I'm just going to take a couple of Zoes, so bear with me here, and we'll do that, and we'll take a couple of stills. Just basic stuff here, nothing really surprising. We're going to go down here and take a picture of the carpet. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like all together. So we'll go to the gallery, for example, from the camera. Overall, really pleased with the camera quality. It's the same as you would expect on the HTC One. Low light performance continues to be a strong point in the HTC One series, and the One Max is no disappointment. But I can come over here to video highlights, for example, and you're going to see this video highlight that I just shot. And you can see it's doing it right now. So I can change around the content, I can change around the themes or the music. I can search from my library. So they definitely made this easier to use. And from there I can share it directly. Come up here and save it. I can deselect content, or I can share via HTC Share. So you can see here I can change it to Satura, for example, or Windmere, and I can move the content around. I can take out and do all of it. I can say locations. I can say, you know what, let's remove this picture, for example, not a good one, so I can come in here and delete. Yes, I'm sure I want to delete it, and then go back to video highlights, and it's gone. So nice option here, combine Zoes, combine still pictures, and this is something you can really maximize the 5.9-inch display on, if you will. I mean, you can do this, and it's really nice to have a nice big display to share with your friends, and of course you can share it when you want to via HTC Share. So cool feature there, something I've always liked about the One line. Great for if you're at a wedding, you have kids, you're snapping a picture of their soccer game, and Zoe's pictures, you combine them all together, make a really cool video and send it to grandma, and there's a nice use case there. Let's take a look at speed test as well. We'll load this up. Now, Sprint's on 3G right now. Caveat, take a look at some of the results I see. I live near downtown in Dallas, and you can see a couple of different options here, a couple of different speed tests I've run, 25 megabits per second, 23, so definitely fast depending on where you're at in the city, but keep in mind my office is not the best, as you can see, and it's running on 3G right now. So we'll take a look here. Another thing you'll immediately notice in, of course, Android 4.3 and Sense 5.5, Physical battery number. I've got 32%. I know exactly where it's at. You know my love for that kind of thing. Nice to see it over on the HTC One Max. So that's there. It's loading up right now. You're looking at about 1 megabit per second on the download. My guess is it's going to be about the same on the upload. Again, it's running on 3G right now. LTE in the city of Dallas and the Metroplex, but not quite seeing it in my office for whatever reason. The second I step outside of my office doors, I get LTE, but not sure why it's not showing up right here. But 0.94 megabits per second on the download. Upload, looking at about 0.7 megabits per second. Yeah, 0.68 megabits per second. And just to show you this, you can
You a good boy? You a good boy? You a good boy? Yeah, come on, baby. Yeah, come on, baby. Yeah, come on, baby boy. Yeah, come on, baby boy. Yeah, come on, baby. Yeah, come on, baby. Yeah, my baby boy, I love you. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you. No biting. No biting. Be nice. I love you. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. I love you. I love you. Yeah, I love you, baby. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, come on, baby. Yeah, come on, baby. Baby likes me. What? Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on, baby. It's okay. You can grab onto me. I am strong enough to handle you. Yes, 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 yes. I did. I get my eyes did. And my eyes did. Yeah, I get my eyes did. I get my baby. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I love you. Yeah, it's okay. I love you. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Good morning. Oh, I don't know. I didn't check. It's 4:45 a.m. though. You slept good. No, I meant you slept good. I'll check though. No, no, no. Yeah, you did.
I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and it's part 2 of the full video review of the HTC One Max. It's an awesome device with a 5.9-inch display and a fingerprint scanner, but can it compete with the Lumia 1520, the Galaxy Note 3, the Xperia Z Ultra, and this increasing category that we call phablets? We'll find out in part 2. We pick up part 2 of the HTC One Max full video review, talking about the camera and how it works not only in, for example, basic shots, but HTC Zoe capabilities as well, and how the software has changed in since 5.5. It's part 2 of the HTC One Max video review. Let's kick it off right now. But before we get too far into that, thanks to our partners at HTC. They hooked us up with a review unit that we're using for testing. And thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile as well, the boys in blue, I like to call them, because they hook us up with phones that we give you for free on the site at instantwin.phonedog.com. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, they'll make sure you're set up and ready to go, whether it's Sprint or Verizon. They're unbiased, they're not paid on commission, so they'll help you find the one that works best for you in your respective area. HTC One Max is here. We'll talk really quickly about the hardware actually before we jump into the camera stuff, because if you missed part 1, go back and take a look. But the hardware here is beautiful, very much like the HTC One. Nice metal on the back and on the front, boom sound speakers. It's just quite literally a supersized HTC One with a nice big 3,400 milliamp hour battery here, so trucking along with a nice big battery, 3,300 milliamp hours, excuse me, battery over here, and you got a nice big 5.9-inch 1080p HD display as well. So big display, big battery, big opportunities here on the HTC One Max. So we'll jump into the camera and take a look. 4 ultra-pixel camera, the same camera that we saw in the HTC One, 1080p HD video recording capabilities. And you know, I'm going to shoot a couple of shots here. You can see they made some subtle changes to the interface. For example, the Zoe icon, it's enabled, and you can see Zoe right below it. So now it's telling me that I have Zoe enabled. I've got, of course, the option over here to change around the image as I see fit. I can come over here, for example, and we'll snap a shot, or snap a Zoe. And we'll go in here and click on that. The still pictures, for example, I can change the way they look around, you know. So, for example, I can move the effects. I can change those around and have some fun with that. So I can do a combination of pictures and Zoes, and where that comes in really beneficially, I'll take a look at this adapter module, for example. And I'm just going to take a couple of Zoes, so bear with me here. And we'll do that, and we'll take a couple of stills. Just basic stuff here, nothing really surprising. We're going to go down here and take a picture of the carpet. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like all together. So we'll go to the gallery, for example, from the camera. Overall, really pleased with the camera quality. It's the same as you would expect on the HTC One. Low light performance continues to be a strong point in the HTC One series, and the One Max is no disappointment. But I can come over here to video highlights, for example, and you're going to see this video highlight that I just shot. And you can see it's doing it right now. So I can change around the content, I can change around the themes or the music. I can search from my library. So they definitely made this easier to use. And from there, I can share it directly. Come up here and save it. I can deselect content, or I can share via HTC Share. So you can see here I can change it to Satura, for example, or Windmere, and I can move the content around. I can take out and do all of it. I can say locations. I can say, you know what, let's remove this picture, for example, not a good one. So I can come in here and delete. Yes, I'm sure I want to delete it, and then go back to video highlights and it's gone. So nice option here, combine Zoes, combine still pictures, and this is something you can really maximize the 5.9-inch display on, if you will. I mean, you can do this, and it's really nice to have a nice big display to share with your friends, and of course you can share it when you want to via HTC Share. So cool feature there, something I've always liked about the One line. Great for if you're at a wedding, you have kids, you're snapping a picture of their soccer game, and Zoe's pictures, you combine them all together, make a really cool video and send it to grandma, and there's a nice use case there. Let's take a look at speed test as well. We'll load this up. Now, Sprint's on 3G right now. Caveat, take a look at some of the results I see. I live near downtown in Dallas, and you can see a couple of different options here, a couple of different speed tests I've run. 25 megabits per second, 23, so definitely fast depending on where you're at in the city, but keep in mind my office is not the best, as you can see, and it's running on 3G right now. So we'll take a look here. Another thing you'll immediately notice in, of course, Android 4.3 and Sense 5.5, physical battery number. I've got 32%, I know exactly where it's at. You know my love for that kind of thing. Nice to see it over on the HTC One Max. So that's there. It's loading up right now. You're looking at about 1 megabit per second on the download. My guess is it's going to be about the same on the upload. Again, it's running on 3G right now. LTE in the city of Dallas and the Metroplex, but not quite seeing it in my office for whatever reason. The second I step outside of my office doors, I get LTE, but not sure why it's not showing up right here. But 0.94 megabits per second on the download. Upload, looking at about 0.7 megabits per second. Yeah, 0.68 megabits per second. And just to show you this, you can see, of course, my shortcuts. I can use both my fingers to do that, or I can use one and swipe down and access all my notifications and remove those. So the overall look and feel there, very similar to what you've seen on previous HTC, or I should say HTC One and HTC One Mini. So we'll load up Quadrant Standard here and take a look. Again, keeping in mind 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 600 CPU. I'll say the same caveat that I say in all of these videos. Take it with a grain of salt. It's not always indicative of day-to-day performance. The Nexus 5, for example, isn't optimized for Quadrant Standard, but I get a lot of people all the time that ask me to do these tests, so I want to make sure that I do Quadrant Standard to make you guys happy. But here's the test. We're running it right now. The battery is incredibly impressive in the HTC One Max. It's got a 3,300 milliamp hour battery. I mean, it's a killer by all means. It makes it through the day. Been really pleased with battery life. The standby time is fantastic on this as well. Go back and take a look at my first impressions where I let the device run for like 2 days in a combination of standby and talk time, and it's really impressive all around. Now, granted, this one's been switching between 3G and 4G LTE, so again, take it with a grain of salt. Not my performance, my battery life performance is not indicative of what you're going to get. Your use cases may be different, but just to kind of give you a benchmark as to what I've seen in the past couple of days. 12,406 in Quadrant Standard. So really pleased with this device all around. It's really a turbocharged or supersized HTC One. And last but not least, the fingerprint scanner. So we'll come in here and take a look at this. And one of the biggest complaints I hear, and I can definitely agree with this, the fingerprint scanner is very close to the camera. I find myself doing this all the time. And maybe it's just me, but I find myself hitting the camera all the time. Smudges on the camera might be an issue, but you know, fingerprint scanner is cool, so it's a trade-off. Tap the finger I want to set up. Yeah, let's tap that finger. And I'm going to scan it to record. I'll show you what it looks like. And 2 more times, 1 more time. I'm trying to scan, I'm not doing a very good job. And fingerprint recorded successfully. Now, I can set up a backup password, so I'm just going to make it hi, there, hi, there. And we'll hit OK. And I can assign an app to either quick launch, or I can assign it for unlocking purposes. So for example, it'll activate the camera, and I can hit, I did not hit apply, but you get the idea. Once it does that, I can activate it and rock and roll. And actually, last but not least, here I'll show you the home screen as well. You can see I've got my Huron Baker Gmail shortcut there just by swiping to the side, my weather on the home screen, and I can swipe the finger to unlock. And let's try it again. There we go, unlocked. and ready to rock and roll. So there's a lot to like about this. Fingerprint scanner is cool. I love the battery life in this device, and it's a gorgeous display. 5.9 inches, a little bit on the big side in comparison to even the phablet market, but still really a beautiful display all around. The biggest downside, I know I say this in a lot of the videos, it probably sound like a broken record, I think there's a huge opportunity for these phablet makers, these OEMs, to increase availability in the software for awesome content creation stuff. Scribble's very cool, but I'd love to see the ability to multitask a little bit more, or maybe some sort of input device, or just something to maximize the fact that I got a big display. There's a lot to do with this, and so Scribble's cool. Of course, web browsing, YouTube, all the typical stuff you would do on any phone definitely looks better on this device, in my opinion. But still, I feel like there's a missed opportunity on the software front to really make this device something that's different from the HTC One, for example. It's not just a specs conversation. I'd love to be able to say, hey, this thing not only has a bigger display, but also has these killer software things that makes you, even if you're not even considering a phablet device, say, hey, I kind of want this. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for more on the HTC One Max. All in all, a really nice device, a great addition to the One lineup. I'm on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron, Facebook, Facebook.com/Hi Aaron Baker. Let me know what you think of the HTC One Max. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. If you like big smartphones, this is a device you'll want to check out. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and in addition to the Galaxy Note 3, the Nokia Lumia 1520, HTC has a big old one, literally, on the block. It's the HTC One Max, a new supersized smartphone from Sprint and from Verizon in the States, and we're going to take a look in the full video review. If you like the HTC One, but you've always thought to yourself, man, I wish I had a phone the size of the Xperia Z Ultra or Galaxy Note 3, but with the form factor of the HTC One, the One Max is going to be your device. There's a lot to like about HTC's newest device, and it completes the trio, if you will, of HTC One smartphones. You've got the Mini, the flagship HTC One, and now the HTC One Max. Coming very soon, available on Sprint now, coming very soon to Verizon Wireless, and it's got a giant body, a big display, and there's a lot to like about this HTC smartphone, and it carries over some design things from the HTC One, which has been their flagship for some time. Before I get too far into that, special thanks to HTC for sending us over a review unit, and also thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile. They give us the HTC One Max and other devices that we give to you for free on the site at PhoneDog.com. So thanks to them. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working, so whether you get the Sprint version or the Verizon version, they'll make sure you're good to go, your carrier settings are all set up, your phone settings are good to go, your messaging is set up, and you're ready to rock and roll out the door, thanks to the boys in blue. But the HTC One Max has a lot to like here. Specifications-wise, very similar in a lot of ways to the HTC One. It's packing a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 600 CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, a 5.9-inch 1080p HD display, so a much bigger display, 4 ultra-pixel camera on the back, same as the HTC One, and it's got a big battery in the back as well. It's non-removable, but it is 3,400 milliamp hours. Now, when you look at the design language here, you'll notice immediately this has more of a design language almost of the HTC One Mini than it does the flagship HTC One. The plastic on the sides a little bit different, a little bit more reminiscent of the HTC One Mini, but there are some changes still, which we'll talk about in just a second. But also, this is running Android 4.3 with HTC Sense version 5.5, and it has a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera. So there's no doubt about it. This is a big smartphone. It's noticeably bigger, as far as I'm concerned, in day-to-day use, noticeably bigger than the Galaxy Note 3 even, and still right on par with something like the Oppo N1. It's a little bit taller than the Galaxy Note 3 if you have that for kind of a size comparison purpose here. A little bit bigger, and it does have that fingerprint scanner on the back, which we'll talk about a little bit later. You'll notice that there is a cover here on the side that does remove and accesses the micro SIM card and accesses the micro SD card slot, but notice the battery is still not removable. But if you want to get back here to access the battery, you can do that, or excuse me, the micro SD card, you can do that by removing it rather from the side. Now, you'll notice immediately here, volume rocker on the right side, same spot. Power button has been moved to below the volume rocker from up top rather, because when you're holding this, it's kind of hard to go up top and try to press that power button. So they moved it to the side for accessibility purposes. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up top with your IR blaster, so still for HTC's TV app. You got that, and of course a micro USB charging port down here at the bottom. But still, Android 4.3, Sense 5.5. The overall experience here is very similar. Boom sound speakers on the front, very similar to what you would experience with the HTC One. So maybe if you're coming from that device, or you've worked with it before, used it before, and you're thinking, hey, maybe I'll get an HTC One Max, you'll notice the experience is similar with a few key differences, which we'll talk about here in just a second. Obviously, the app drawer looks very similar on the Sprint version, which is what is here. This is a Sprint Spark device, so once Sprint Spark is available in your respective market, you can take advantage of that. But a couple of goodies out of the box here. One Weather, Bacon Reader, CBS Sports, of course, the Google integration, Key VPN, Lumen Toolbar, Lookout, Kid Mode, and then just scrolling down through here and kind of looking pretty briefly. Scout, SoundHound, Sprint Music Plus, Sprint TV and Movies, Sprint Zone, TuneIn Radio, and then, of course, all the YouTube stuff and Sprint Worldwide, all the YouTube stuff. It's like an old man. All the YouTube kids stuff that they listen to. It's crazy. That's crazy, I tell you. And, of course, Blink Feed here as well. And you notice highlights, and I've got, of course, Google Plus integration, calendar, gallery, and TV. So, for example, calendar's in here. I'm updating that. I've got TV. And then I can go into my highlights as well, which is what you typically see with something like a traditional Blink Feed look and feel here. You'll see the application loaded up, or the actual area here loaded up. You can see the individual stories. And you can come up here at the top to highlights and go back over here like I was just showing you and go into settings. So you'll notice the user interface here is different from what you would see on the HTC One. Notice in the old version, it was right up here at the top. Instead over here now, it's right here, and I can go to topics and services, for example, and either connect with Facebook, or I can select interests on my own and come in here to services and apps. I can come into featured headlines if I want to. So they've definitely expanded this out. You can see the technology section is a little bit more expanded. And down here, for example, technology and science, I can click on that. I love gadgets, so I love mobile, I love internet, I love the internet. So I can click on those and have those highlighted in my Blink Feed as well. So, of course, the weather is still here at the top, but overall experience is very similar. You've got your home screens here as well. Blink Feed is on. You can actually turn off Blink Feed in Sense 5.5, so you've got that option. Of course, home screens as well, so a total of 5 home screens in addition to Blink Feed to make for 6 total home screens in Sense 5.5, rather. That's a change as well. Back here, home button down at the bottom. And of course, let's take a look at the internet browser here and see how it performs. We'll load up phonedog.com. and see how it performs. And you can see it's running right now on Sprint 3G. Now, Sprint's changed around their network indicator. You'll notice it with the 3G. The LTE one is super interesting. It's kind of this spinning wheel, which for whatever reason, LTE is not working in my office. Dallas is very much an LTE market for Sprint, but not working in this respective area. But you can see ported to landscape, nice and fast. And you have the same Sense keyboard that you're probably familiar with over on the HTC One. Difference here, depending on the version, you do have the arrow buttons at the bottom as well. So nice big keyboard, easy to type in portrait. You'll notice in landscape mode, very easy to type on. It goes from edge to edge of the display, which is quite nice in comparison to something like a Windows Phone 8 device, which, much to my chagrin, still does not do that. So keep that in mind. So I'll go back home here and take a look at messaging on that note, and I'll load up a spare text message. You can see how it looks. Of course, keyboard's still here, and portrait to landscape is nice and fast. So the overall consumption experience here, very similar to what you would see on the HTC One or the One Mini with some minor changes like that. I also want to highlight this app called Scribble, and I talked about this in the unboxing and the first impressions. I talked about the opportunity, and we'll talk more about this in part 2, but the opportunity that HTC had and even Nokia had with the Lumia 1520. I feel like it was a missed opportunity. You've got a big screen device here. You need some software to go with that big screen. I mean, it's kind of one of those one-size-fits-all things is not the case here, and it's the same version of Sense, essentially, running on the One Max as it is on the HTC One. There's no real differentiator where it's like, hey, we've got a nice big display that's almost 6 inches. Let's change it up and split the screen and do multitasking or something like that. So I think there was a missed opportunity in the software department, but one thing I will give them credit for is the Scribble application. So you can take a look here, and I was testing this out, just having some fun with it. So I've got a picture that I inserted, and I can go down here and paint. So I've got some options here to draw on the screen. That said, it's not nearly as, for me, functional in day-to-day use as something like the Note 3, which I often praise it because it is kind of a leader in the class in terms of content consumption and content creation. So that's why I often will talk about that one, because the S Pen does do a good job. The handwriting recognition is great. And you've got some of that over here. You'll notice, for example, I'll go down here and draw hey, and it'll insert it right there, and it inserts it in my, I almost said font, in my handwriting, but still a little bit smaller, a little bit less functional. And you can, of course, insert pictures, but not nearly as functional as the S Pen, or screenshots, or sending those, or using the S Pen to cut around. And surprisingly, even though some of you may look at that as a gimmick, a lot of people use that on a regular basis. I am forever doing that, cutting stuff out and sending it to friends or family and saying, hey, take a look at this picture or this article or something like that. I think there's a lot of use for that in a big screen device, and I'm frustrated, if you will, that this is not included in some of these other large screen devices. So this is definitely a step forward. Would love to see more, perhaps in a future version of Sense from HTC. Keep it locked on phonedog.com for part 2. We'll talk more about the software. We'll run a speed test, quadrant standard, and more. So keep it locked right here. After a few days with the HTC One Max, I can tell you a couple of things that are great about this device and a couple of things that make it lag behind in the phablet space. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and this is the first impressions of the HTC One Max. Does it hold up to the Galaxy Note 3, the Xperia Z Ultra, and other big devices? Let's go find out. There's no doubt about it, after working with the HTC One Max for a few days, there are a lot of things that I think are good about this device in comparison to not only the One, but also some of the other phablet devices on the market. That said, there are a couple of things that I noticed about this device that I think they could have improved on and perhaps could improve on in the next iteration of this device. So let's dive in and take a look at some of those in this quick first impressions video. First of all, quick recap here. It's got basically the same internals from a lot of ways, or in a lot of ways rather, as the HTC One. It's got a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 600 CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of internal storage in the Sprint version, 4G LTE connectivity, and then that 4 ultra-pixel camera on the back. Where it changes it around a little bit, 5.9-inch full 1080p HD display here. So not only is it a big display all around, but it's a beautiful 1080p HD display. So I can tell you I've been exceptionally impressed with the 4G LTE connectivity and then that 4 ultra-pixel camera on the back. Where it changes it around a little bit, 5.9-inch full 1080p HD display here. So not only is it a big display all around, but it's a beautiful 1080p HD display. So I can tell you I've been exceptionally impressed with the display here. It's absolutely gorgeous, much like the HTC One, brings a giant display for content consumption and continues to preserve the beauty of it, if you will. You know, they didn't skimp and make it a 720p display. They made it full 1080p. And then, of course, the fingerprint scanner on the back is a cool feature as well, though to be totally honest with you, I don't use this on a daily basis. I used it for like the first day and then turned it off. So the placement is a little bit out of touch to me versus being, you know, near the camera. I find it to be a little bit close to the camera, and that's a display for content consumption. Absolutely gorgeous, much like the HTC. I've been exceptionally impressed with the display here. It's absolutely gorgeous, much like the HTC One, brings a giant display for content consumption and continues to preserve the beauty of it, if you will. You know, they didn't skimp and make it a 720p display. They made it full 1080p. And then, of course, the fingerprint scanner on the back is a cool feature as well, though to be totally honest with you, I don't use this on a daily basis. I used it for like the first day and then turned it off. So the placement is a little bit out of touch to me versus being itself as opposed to the fingerprint scanner. So 3,400 milliamp hour battery, that's the other big win here. Huge battery in this device, really big, beautiful display. And I just want to show you my battery stats in comparison to some of the other devices on the market so you can see what I'm getting here. I have not charged this device once in the time that I've been working with it. You can see 4 days I've been doing a combination of standby testing and actual use testing just to see how long I can get juice out of this device. It's running right now on Sprint's 3G network. It's been a combination of 3G and 4G LTE in Dallas, but you can see 4 days, 5 hours, 50 minutes, 47 seconds on battery, and I'm still at 27%. So really an impressive battery number here. Like I said, a combination of standby. Wanted to test that out because HTC has done a good job historically with standby times, and wanted to test out some use case stuff as well. But overall, you know, where I think they really could improve here, when you look at the software of the HTC One Max, definitely a really nice improvement over previous versions of Sense. Sense 5.5 is a great version of Sense. You've got Android 4.3 on this device out of the box, Jelly Bean. So it's definitely up to date or pretty close to being up to date. Obviously 4.4 is out. But one of the areas I think they could really improve upon in this device, there's no real additional content creation here. I mean, you've got a big display, but really it's literally a supercharged, turbocharged, supersized HTC One. I mean, there's no real difference. You're not getting anything in the increase in size and the increase in screen size. Obviously, you're getting a 1080p display that's bigger, you're getting the fingerprint scanner, but in terms of software value adds, you're not really getting anything additional. I mean, you notice, for example, in messaging, and pardon me while I pull it away so I can pull up a message here just for a test, and I'll show you, 8353 here, for example, which was a test message I sent a couple of days ago, and you can see here, portrait landscape, I mean, it's exactly the same software experience as the HTC One. It's not something like some of these other devices on the market that take advantage of the screen size, perhaps for multitasking, or maybe when you throw it into landscape mode, you've got, it splits up and gives you separate options here for the actual body of the message and the text themselves. I just don't see a lot of things in the software that are really maximizing the screen size. And that's a concern as you go into this phablet war, because really to me that's the distinguishing factor of having a large device, the fact that you can have these software value adds and take advantage of the big display. You can draw on it, you can do a lot of different things with it. LG does this, Samsung does it to an even greater extent with the S Pen, to be able to draw on the display and change stuff around and screenshot, and you'll be able to use the device as a content, not only a content consumption, but a content creation device as well, something that I find myself missing out on with the HTC One Max. Also really enjoying Hotspot Shield VPN. I gotta give them a shout because you know what? You can save 20% by using coupon code PhoneDog and activating Hotspot Shield. I like this because you can browse securely, you can browse privately. If you're like me, I browse my bank accounts pretty regularly on my device, and I don't want those to go into the wrong hands. I have money coming out of my bank accounts enough as is. Well, with Hotspot Shield, they'll make sure you're secure, that you're browsing privately, that you're browsing securely, and better yet, you can get that 20% off, like I said, using coupon code PhoneDog. So thanks to them for partnering with us. I love good offers like that. Love to be able to offer you a great deal, and thanks to Hotspot Shield, we're able to do that and give you 20% off to boot by using that coupon code. So that's a great app I've been using. Of course, Speed Test is on here as well. HTC's TV application is here. The power button's been moved to the right side. And then, of course, the IR blaster is up here at top. A little bit easier to activate the power button. Still a challenge to wrap my hand around it. Obviously, I can barely get my full hand around it. It's a big device, but it preserves most of that HTC One design language. So if you like the design language of the HTC One, this is a great option. Of course, the cover is removable, and this shows off the micro SD card slot and the SIM card slot, but the battery, keep in mind, is non-removable even though the back comes off. So that is something to keep in mind. So that unibody construction is not here on this device, but you know what? I actually prefer, being totally honest with you, after working with the HTC One and HTC One Mini, I actually prefer the design of the One Mini. And if you look at this, you'll see this kind of is very similar in a lot of ways to the HTC One Mini with the plastic sides and then, of course, the metal on the front and metal on the back versus the HTC One, which was designed a little bit differently around the edges. I find this design to be preferable, at least in my personal use, versus the HTC One. I think the volume rocker buttons are much easier to press on the One Max as well. So they made some of these subtle design changes to the One Max that are obviously based on consumer feedback. And in my opinion, they really increase the overall usability of the device. Just would love to see more software value adds. I mean, because again, it's a great experience all around. Really enjoy the use of this device, really enjoy the big display. The 1080p HD display is gorgeous, but it needs some software value adds to really distinguish itself as a phablet. I mean, it needs to be able to have some capability of drawing or content creation. And while this is a great consumption device, YouTube, browsing, etc., content creation, it's still lacking in comparison to the Galaxy Note 3 and the Optimus G Pro. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for more on the HTC One Max. Really impressed with battery life here. Can't wait to continue to put that to the test in the full video review. I'm on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron and would love to hear what you have to say about the HTC One Max. Is it a device you're considering, or perhaps you're on AT&T and it's not coming to your carrier and you're frustrated, or maybe you're looking at this device, you're on Verizon, but you're debating between it and another device. I'd love to hear from you on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron or on Facebook at Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker. Stay tuned for the full review of HTC's newest device. It's a flagship. It's got a lot of great features, and we're going to put them to the test in the full video review. I'll see you next time. Boom Sound Sprint 4G LTE Ultra Pixel camera, 1.7 gigahertz quad-core processor, but it's a little bit bigger, and it's got a fingerprint scanner. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com. Let's unbox the HTC One Max on Sprint. There was a One Mini, and now there's the HTC One Max coming as of today to Sprint, coming very soon to Verizon Wireless in the States. And this thing is a supersized version of the HTC One, and while it preserves a lot of the design language of the One, it brings some new things both on the hardware side and on the software side. We're going to dive in this unboxing and take a look at all that good stuff in the HTC One Max full video unboxing. Before I get too far into it, I want to thank our partners at Best Buy Mobile. They give us devices like this that we turn around and give to you for free on the site at PhoneDog.com, so check it out. When you walk in to Best Buy Mobile, they'll make sure you get the HTC One Max that works best for you. So whether it's the Sprint version or the Verizon version, they're not paid on spiffs, they're unbiased, they're not paid on commission. So you walk out that door and you get the carrier and the device that works best for you. So the One Max is here. Specs-wise, you're looking at a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 600 CPU. You've got a big 5.9-inch display, full 1080p, 373 ppi here. Weight, you're looking at about 217 grams. So this thing, as you would expect, is going to be a big device all around. But like I said, it does preserve that design language of the HTC One and then the One Mini as well. Location privacy, you can see the Sprint sleeve here. Pull that off, and we'll take a look at the device in just a second. But the box is so big and the device is so big, I'm having a hard time getting it all on camera. Continuing along on the specs, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of internal storage in the Sprint version, micro SIM card slot. You've got 4G LTE capabilities, a nice big 3,300 milliamp hour battery, and a different AC adapter module here, as you can tell, a little bit different from traditional HTC. The USB cable area is still in the same spot, but it's a little bit extended in comparison to what we've seen in the past. USB cable looks to be about the same here in HTC's cornstarch bags. Eco-friendly, and I want to thank our partners at HTC as well. They sent us over the review unit, so thanks to them. A little nice surprise for a Friday morning. Actually, it wasn't a surprise, but I knew it was coming. But still, nonetheless, always great to get it. Get started guide in here. You get some HTC stickers. I won't bother you too much, waste your time with the opening of the instruction manuals, because if you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. So we'll go ahead and close the box. Now on the front, you can see boom sound, ultra pixel camera, which I should point out, it has that same 4 ultra pixel camera here. Really a nice device, really clean, good looking design. Actually, I would say the design language of the One Max is a little bit more like the HTC One Mini than the original One. It's got those edges, very reminiscent of the One Mini here, and then different design on the side as well. Volume rocker, a little bit different. Power button lower on the device over here, not on the top, over on the side. But up top you get your 3.5mm headphone jack and then your IR blaster for the TV application. Down here at the bottom, micro USB charging port, camera on the back, and a fingerprint scanner. At the beginning I talked about there being some different things from a hardware standpoint. That is one of them on the HTC One Max. Take a look at this in comparison to the Galaxy Note 3, and you can really get a feel of the size difference that HTC brings to the table versus the Galaxy Note 3. A little bit of a different design here. HTC, got your back button, your home button down here, physical home button, menu, and back. So just to give you an idea of the design difference and overall look and feel difference. You've got an area here for a dock as well, but this is going to be a big device in the hand, that 5.9-inch display.
meeny, miny, whoa. Turn up now, I'm about to blow. Up and y'all don't even know. Powder keg about to explode. Independent, I run this show. International, run the globe. Hyperdrive, no cruise control. Got the life and they losing foe. I stay 100, I keep it homegrown. I live for the applause, and all the people know. I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the bag, man, I got it, yeah. I got it. Built it from the bottom, ayy. Thought to be up in your face. Putting proof is in the chase. Put in work, the paper pays. On the up and I'm on the road. You beneath and you cutting cold. Hyperdrive and no cruise control. Got the life and they losing foe. I stay 100, I keep it homegrown. I live for the applause, and all the people know. I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the bag, man, I got it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the bag, man, I got it, yeah. I got it. Meeny, miny, whoa. Turn up now, I'm about to blow. Up and y'all don't even know. Powder keg about to explode. Independent, I run this show. International, run the globe. Hyperdrive and no cruise control. Got the life and they losing foe. I stay 100.
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 550 pounds, Mitchell O'Q and Kid Hayes York.
Each of these competitors has incredible singles potential, but as a group, they may just be unstoppable.
¡Viva la raza!
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 556 pounds, Van
Feeling, the electricity in the arena right now is unlike anything I've ever felt in quite some time. This match is going to be good. I'll give you 3 tries to explain the concept of a 2 out of 3 falls match.
I'll only need 2 of them. Finds the roll-up.
He goes for the quick pin. It's going to take more than that to keep his shoulders down.
He just powered out there, Cole.
Oh, he timed that counter well. Counter! Saw it coming.
Kick right to the back of the leg. And into the turnbuckle he goes.
These superstars face a unique set of challenges in this 6-man tag match.
Yeah, Cole, we've seen teams of 3 struggle before. It's hard enough to communicate with one partner, but 2, you're in for a lot of work here.
Shoulders down to the count.
Suplexes, slams, and bombs are all painful, but being slapped like that is humiliating.
You would know, Saxton.
Arm extended, tags his teammate in.
Trying to get vertical, but he has no idea he's in the line of fire.
Kick right to the ribs. And there's more to come. Brain buster.
Landing like that can do some lasting damage to the spine.
From the top.
An important tag here.
This could change the match.
Left kick. Unbelievable athleticism. Into the armbar. Squirms his way out. Round and round into the satellite DDT. Springboard, man. Oh. Great athleticism. Oh, now it's roll up.
Gets the shoulder up after 1.
He clearly has no intention of staying down.
Kick right to the ribs. Uh-oh. Here's a wheelbarrow. Boom, DDT. And now placed in the corner. Tandem offense in effect. A good team knows how to truly work as one.
There's a tag.
Drop kick on target. He wasn't tough enough contending with one opponent. Now you got to deal with two. Oh, incredible dragon suplex.
Oh, big mistake, and that error could be costly.
Counters to gain the advantage.
Uh-oh. Thunderous powerbomb. Has him in the corner, thinking of the next move.
Gosh. Counters.
So agile.
And just when he needed it most, he got it.
Round and round into the small package.
He breaks the ref's count after one.
Right now, I just don't know what it's going to take.
That'll turn your lights out.
We know what's racing through his mind. Oh, launching himself from the ropes. Uh-oh. There's the backbreaker. Right across the chest.
He's certainly feeling that attack.
Oh, stomping away.
Oh, what a leg drop.
And now the tag.
Uh-oh. Thunderous powerbomb. And would you look at this
Double springboard moonsault. He may get the 3 count right here.
I think so.
He makes the save.
Better late than never. Oh, ouch.
Boom, a forearm smash. And he counters.
Leaping into the wheelbarrow, up and around. Boom, DDT. A defensive elbow to the gut ends that. Down in the basement with a drop kick.
Propped up in the corner.
Torturous focus on the leg in the corner.
He is determined to fight out of this predicament.
Now positioned out of the top rope.
This superstar looking to advance the stage of this match into a hazardous zone from the middle rope. Has their opponent up.
Avalanche white noise. Cover. And stopping the pin there. Uh-oh. What an elbow drop right to the heart.
That's got to be the end.
Here's the race to man, keeping his team in this one. Oh, swanton.
Double underhook applied.
Butterfly suplex. Somehow breaks the count immediately.
How did he do that?
Shoulder to the gut.
Sunset flip.
Sunset flip powerbomb. Oh, looking to cripple the leg. Stretching and tearing at all the ligaments in the leg.
Guys, they're getting a little too close for comfort.
Stop hiding behind Cole, Saxton.
Looking to go up high.
Watch out. Through the air. It connects. 2. Could be thinking about a powerbomb. Way up there.
Crucifix powerbomb.
Staggering back up, maybe to a foregone conclusion.
Double underhook. Powerbomb. Now he has to finish the job.
We can sense the whole WWE Universe behind him right now.
Returns to the ring, beating the count.
Wow, incredible hurricanrana.
A non-stop flurry of offense from him.
And he's crushing his opponent with these constant attacks.
Able to make the tag.
And boy, was it needed.
These superstars' bodies must be racked with excruciating pain.
This is the true testament. Who can dig down?
Double underhook. Driven down with a powerbomb.
That is how you put away your opponent.
Uh-oh, this is not going to look pretty. Submission being applied. Nice escape.
This competitor has such a deep arsenal. We're about to see more of it. Springboard head scissor.
Damage is starting to take its toll on him. Tag's made.
Oh, yeah. Not waiting any longer to get in this. Oh, man, just punishing. Rolling into a monkey flip.
Effective counter. What's he gonna do? Shoulder breaker. Running heel kick.
He's in a bad place. This is where it could all end for him.
Knees.
Ripped in the hard way.
Will it be? Making the save there.
Getting him right into the corner.
Oh, he flips that around.
Nice drop kick. Got the opponent set up.
Drop kick to the back. Does he have him here? No, stops the count at 2.
There's some shock in the...
Flying possum. Shoulders down. Kicks out after 1.
If that won't beat him, I'm not sure anything will.
Lariat. He makes the tag here. Armbar. Just stretching out the arm. Cover. Is it enough? No, 2 count.
Somehow, some way, he is still in this.
Strong right.
Caught the leg. Got him caught. Into a dragon screw. Game changer.
The WWE Universe is absolutely on fire right now.
I can barely hear you, Byron. I'm loving this.
Slam down.
He's looking to go high risk from the top rope.
Watching, waiting, and we know exactly what he's thinking.
Watching.
Diving Hurricanrana.
Whoa.
He made the save just in time. Oh, man, by the hair. Hair whip. Tag.
Taking a moment to get pumped off of this crowd's incredible energy.
This is it. That stops the count. What a save.
Put into the corner. What could be next?
Saw it coming and avoided it. Into the foot slam.
He's getting pumped up. He's really in this now.
Countering that offense. At this stage, he's endured plenty of big attacks.
Yeah, holding strong for this long in a tag team match is commendable, but it might be time to tag out. Great ring awareness saved him. Oh my, what elevation! Into the cover!
And he kicks out of the pin and one. You are not alone in your shock, Cole.
Uh-oh.
The shoulder up.
A long 2.5 in the waning moments of this match.
Just take a look at the WWE Universe. They know there is no better place to be than right here, right now.
Has him in the corner, thinking of the next move.
From the middle rope. Tornado DDT.
Into the cover. And keeps his partner alive.
Ruthless striking. Looking to apply an agonizing armbar stretch.
Punishing stretch.
Oh, that hurt right to the kidney.
Golly.
Backdrop suplex. Drop kick right on point.
Every side. 'Cause it could be. 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 ' I'm the baddest that you've ever seen. I ain't slave brave with everything. Go crazy, get wild, I don't predict. Watch out, I'll terminate you in your sleep. What you say is what you get, and I don't care if you get all of it. What you say is what you get, and I don't care 'cause I'm all over it. What you say is what you get, and I don't care if you get all of it. What you say is what you get, and I don't care if you get all of it.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks, the drive to go wild. I've got the moves that really move 'em. I said chill up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Get your heart out, girls. Hands on your merchandise.
The water. right, I'll go get that battery charged.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through!
never slow down. This is my brutality! I eat, sleep, bleed. The demons in your dreams. I eat, sleep, bleed. Look at my eyes, look at life, life. Look at my eyes, is it you or die, die? Look at my eyes, look at life, life. Weak, yeah. All of the devils in me, I still feel the darkness that lives in me. If you choose, I'll take your soul in your sleep. I'm evil, there's no escaping from me. Do or die. This is my brutality. The demon in your dreams, you'll hear me in your screams. I am the deadly disease. I'll put that soul to sleep. I'll leave you 6 feet deep. Brutality. Look at my eyes, look at life, life. Look at my eyes, is it you or die, die? Look at my eyes, look at life, life. Look at my eyes, is it you or die, die? I eat, sleep, bleed. The demons in your dreams. I eat, sleep, bleed.
I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall. Instead of crying, they hear me roar. And now I see that I'm way better than before. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. I never needed you
I don't
at
know,
all.
today's the 24th.
Watch me shine now. Watch me shine now. I never needed you at all.
Yeah, it does. It shows me under the time. Sunday, August 24th.
I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall. Instead of crying, they hear me roar. And now I see that better than before. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. I never needed you at all. Watch me shine now. Watch me shine now. I never needed you at all. I never needed you at all. I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall. Instead of crying, they hear me roar. And now I see that I'm way better than before. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch.
Huh? Huh? Like 8. 4 apiece. I think we could do it with that. Yeah, call them. Tell them we need 8. Okay. No. That what? Yeah. I know. Grandma, are you still doing my water? Yeah. August 24th. It's the 24th. Yeah, it's Sunday, August 24th. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Oh, how was you testing? Thank you very much for doing it. Thank you very much. I know it sucked. You know,
Well, I got happy because I thought our food stamp could have been coming and everything. I'm not too happy about this. But now we're not going in the fold like we did again. Nothing. So how many days we got, like 5?
yeah,
We'll make it then. I don't know, but
yeah.
maybe usually they talk to him, says,
Oh, Oscar, yeah, it'd be nice. He brought some income in.
I'm gonna give you that phone number after I got it down in the phone. People. In your picture.
Okay.
So what time is it? Yes.
Okay.
The Dave Maple fish.
I've heard of it.
It changed my life.
I mean, it's a lot better than Sackmaster. I wouldn't want the last name Sackmaster. Yeah. Grandma? Oh, I didn't know if you were up here or not. Nothing, I just didn't know if you were here. Okay, yeah, nothing. I didn't eat nothing. Oh, I said nothing. I didn't eat anything.
Going to be great for content consumption. The biggest concern I have about this device in comparison to some of the other big devices on the market like the Note 3, obviously with a big device, Samsung's done a good job with the S Pen and bringing that S Pen opportunity to the device. This is very much a turbocharged, or even I should say a supersized, if you will, HTC One, but beyond that in the fingerprint scanner, there's no additional real content consumption opportunities here, content creation opportunities, if you will. It's quite literally a turbocharged, supercharged Android smartphone. So you don't get that S Pen functionality, for example, or anything that really justifies the larger screen outside of watching YouTube videos, browsing the web, looking at pictures, etc. So if that's important to you, there's definitely a use case for this where you want that for pictures, you want it for browsing the web, you just want a bigger device, maybe you have a hard time seeing like I do, and you want a bigger device with a bigger display. Definitely got some great stuff here out of the box, but still when I look at this device, I'm like, you could have maximized it maybe a little bit better with something like a pen or something for that additional content creation to take advantage of that 5.9-inch display. Do like the fingerprint scanner on the back. The biggest concern I've seen, and granted I've read this, I haven't actually seen this yet because I just got the device. I wanted to wait and get a carrier version of the device for you so it was a little bit more realistic to US conditions, but one of the biggest challenges I'm seeing, a lot of people are talking about touching the camera as opposed to touching the fingerprint scanner, and that being a little bit of a concern overall, you know, in terms of long-term use, because you're touching it, you're getting fingerprints on the scanner, etc. So obviously here, device, as you can see, running Android 4.3 with HTC Sense version 5.5, getting a lot of, I'm going to dismiss rather, the data roam guard. And you've got a new looking 3G, 4G icon as you're seeing here as a result of Sprint Spark, which is something new on the Sprint side. You can see the 3G icon right there. Should pop into 4G LTE here soon, and you can see what the device looks like. So overall, a very similar look and feel that you would expect from a One device. Looks a lot like, quite literally, a supersized HTC One. This is how it fits in the hand, comparatively speaking. I can barely wrap my hands around it, but still a big device all around. Preserves that metal unibody, nice big 3,300 milliamp hour battery. I'm excited to put that to the test in full review videos and subsequent dogfights. It's gonna be nice to put that battery to the test and see how it performs. And of course, Sprint Spark as well. You can see 3G running here, Android 4.3 like I just said, the fingerprint scanner on the back, we can set that up. Let's take a look at that and see how it works. Fingerprint scanner located on the back of this phone, unlock the phone or start an application. So I'll go ahead and say, we'll set up that finger, and I'm gonna swipe it across the center, and let's see how well it performs. I'm gonna swipe it 3 more times, and each time I'm swiping it, it's giving me a vibration to tell me that it's set up. Boom, fingerprint recorded successfully, continue. And we'll set up a password. Now guys, I don't want you to get into my phone here, so I'm gonna set a really complicated password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it must contain at least 1 letter. Clearly I'm not reading. Let's say phone dog. I think I typed in phone dig, but I'm gonna do phone dog. Boom. Phone dog. Phone dog.
Okay.
The passwords don't match. Let's try this. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Clearly, I'm having some issues setting up the password this morning. You can see the Sprint stuff pre-installed out of the box as well. HTC stuff, and they're all separated into folders. I can come up here and go to alphabetical, for example, and see all the stuff that comes out of the box in the Sprint version. You've got One Weather, Bacon Reader. Who doesn't love bacon? CBS Sports, eBay out of the box. You've got HTC apps, as you can see there, Key VPN, Lumen Toolbar, Maps, Media Share, all typical Google stuff here as well. Parent dashboard, Sprint Zone. Now on the Sprint side, you get Sprint Music Plus, Sprint TV and Movies, Sprint Worldwide, and Sprint Zone as well. And of course, down at the bottom, visual voicemail as a nice little goodie, nice little add-on there. And boom sound speakers, as you can see up here on the device. So since 5.5, no huge changes, at least right here in the front, from the applications drawer perspective or the notifications bar perspective in comparison to what we've seen from Sense 5. No dramatic changes. You can see settings look pretty similar here. Fingerprint scan. I'll go ahead and set that up again. You know what, that really bugs me that I didn't set that up. Go ahead and record the fingerprint, record again, record again, record again, and one more time. Fingerprint recorded successfully. Oops. And I'm just having all kinds of issues. It just does not want me to set up this fingerprint on camera. Maybe it's just Friday and my brain is not working properly. Entirely possible. Continue, let's try this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more time. There we go. Hit continue, and we'll go to phone dog, confirm, phone dog, and there's our password. Fingerprint setup is complete. I can assign an app for the fingerprint as well to quick launch, you know, for example, camera or voice assistant or home. I can choose from all applications. I use email on a regular basis for work, so I can set up, let's say, where is my, let's go down through here and go to mail, and I can set that up to when I do that, and the device is on. It should auto set up or auto activate mail. I may have to do it from the actual home screen. I'm learning here with you guys as well. Let's see what we can do. Reading fingerprint, let's try it one more time. Fingerprint not recognized. Fingerprint not recognized. There we go. And then of course it loads into mail. So it took a couple of times, maybe a concern, maybe I'm just pressing it the wrong way, and obviously I'm holding this a certain way to be on camera, so that could be part of the issue as well. Loading up phonedog.com, just quickly, you can see the standard HTC keyboard here out of the box, so nothing really changed there. If you like that keyboard from the HTC One, you're gonna like it here because obviously you have more screen real estate, making it easier to type on, and of course, portrait to landscape. Everything's nice and fast in this device, brings the same processor to the table, the same amount of RAM to the table as the HTC One, so a very similar experience both from a design perspective and from a software perspective in terms of speed and in terms of design. So very nice here. PhoneDog loaded up, nice and quick. You've got your browser here where you can open up new tabs and more, so really a useful device. We'll go into phone here and take a look as well. No real differences. You can see your favorites, your phone, everything looks kind of similar, just a supercharged HTC One. One of the things I do want to point out, the camera here, 4 ultra pixel camera. We'll go ahead and snap a couple of shots here just to see what looks different in the gallery, which I believe, if I recall, was one of the changes in Sense 5.5. Let's see what it looks like just to get an idea here. Events, a bunch of different pictures here. I can go into the events. If I had videos or Zoe's created, I could start up. I'm going to highlights here, video highlights, and let's see what it looks like. Very cute. Totes adorbs. And of course, I can save that and come through to themes if I want to and take a look. Music, lots of different options here within the video highlights, and we'll be sure to explore that more in the full video review. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you want to see covered in the full video review of the HTC One Max. I'm on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron. I'm on Facebook at Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker. Thanks for watching. More to come on this supercharged, supersized HTC One with some design changes, a fingerprint scanner, hey, and a pretty new version of Android with the newest version of HTC Sense. Keep it locked right here for more, and as always, I'll see you next time. After a few days with the HTC One Max, I can tell you a couple of things that are great about this device and a couple of things that make it lag behind in the phablet space. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and this is the first impressions of the HTC One Max. Does it hold up to the Galaxy Note 3, the Xperia Z Ultra, and other big devices? Let's go find out. There's no doubt about it, after working with the HTC One Max for a few days, there are a lot of things that I think are good about this device in comparison to not only the One, but also some of the other phablet devices on the market.
I wonder if this would fit that seat.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, where did you find that key?
That dresser drawer. Every time I go to that dresser drawer, I find more stuff.
Yeah. Why not?
That would be a nice something, I think.
Yeah. Huh?
Today, Labor Day.
No, Labor Day is Monday, September 1st.
September 1st is tomorrow.
No, Grandma, it is the 24th.
So, Sue looked at this. I looked at it and it seems right. And then playing around with it or what?
No, I know it's been the 24th.
I can't believe it. Just try and find it similar to me.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
I said I couldn't find it.
Oh, I thought you said I'm not buying. I was like,
No.
why?
Labor Day, lights always be up already. Because it goes with the family, the holidays, and that does things too, you know?
Yeah, Faisal's up.
But then they say we call
Yeah, go ahead. What did you have to call him for?
to see if it's eight tags to,
Is all it's okay?
Huh?
It's okay?
he just has to the prices.
Okay.
He's a price on it too, he like just.
Yeah. All right.
So I'll give you his private number.
Yeah. We're not gonna call him on the house phone? Cause I don't get no, Grandma. Yeah, I don't get good service on the Wi-Fi call. That's why I'm not gonna call him on here. I don't get good service on here because my phone's not hooked up.
It's not for yours.
Yeah, so that's why they want to call him on that.
It's 414
414.
897 27 7. First of all, I say I'm sorry. We have to hear this. Even yesterday, like, we turned out,
I don't think he has a voicemail. I said I don't think he has a voicemail. Oh, it is. No, it went to voicemail, and I was gonna leave a message, but his voice box is full.
we're almost on service station.
What am I gonna tell them?
It's voice.
Oh yeah, his voice box is full.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say, like, can I just come in at 6 or whatever, and then I'll leave until we figure shit out.
I'll just ask him what's the most I can come get. All right. What is the number? Yeah. 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 All right. Hey, BP, we tried calling FICO, but the inbox was full. So I was just wondering how many cigarettes we could come in and get. Okay. 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 You as well. All right. He said when FICO gives me the okay, we can do it. And I wasn't able to get a hold of FICO. I got his phone, huh? But he said he had to wait till FICO says it's okay. And I didn't gonna be till about 9 o'clock. So
I got more than a half of my cigarettes, one.
no, I mean if that's all you got, smoke it.
They have $2 bills. I don't want to pack them in for
No,
cigarettes.
I can wait. I'm not worried about it.
I'm just worried about now, you know.
Yeah.
So if he sees our phone number on you, you know, he could check this message or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Sure, I would pick the guns. That's the box.
Yeah, I know. Time gets stuck.
Yeah, every state savings some run along with it. It sounds like where are you? I think it's a happy back, but I have some microwave with me.
Yes, love.